Alright, the Reds, talking Reds, the band's back together. Me, Gareth Roberts, Craig Hannan. We haven't done one of these for a while, but we're back. Footy's back as well. United are playing tonight and they're going to draw 0-0 and be boring as fuck. So you can all look forward to that. And yeah, what I've noticed on Talking Reds, why we've been away, mate, is a complete lack of needle. You know, everyone's just been talking that seriously about the football.
There's definitely a correlation between serious football chat and us being on it. So yeah, we're ready to bring it back, aren't we?
I think we start with the needle. You know, we'll talk about the Reds in a minute. But I mean, I bought the papers again as well, because no one's been buying the papers, but I bought the papers. Mainly because the back pages are mainly about Mourinho. No more quick fixes, says the Mirror there. Jose's red mist, says the Mail. And basically, the crack is that you know, he's fell out with the board. That's what seems to have happened. That's the short version. Woodward didn't like the targets that he wanted to go for. Didn't think they were worth the money. Vetoed his moves for certain players. Jose looks a bit of a mess.
He does. He's on the slow decline to insanity, doesn't he? Every so often, he just looks like he's getting more and more insane. He's
been pictured unshaven quite a bit. He's tried to polish himself up a little bit for the most recent press conference, but even then he's got big bags under his eyes and stuff like that. And, you know, for a fella who basically everyone's missus fancied at one point, now he looks a bit of a mess, and like, you know, he's kicking around in hotel rooms, sort of dismantling the trouser press and stuff like that. So it looks like it's all going to go tits up, which is absolutely brilliant, isn't it? I mean, I love nothing more than watching Man United go tits up, so let's hope that happens tonight when they play Leicester City at Old Trafford. Another thing to talk about as well is Everton have signed some players, and, you know, well done, boys. But they seem to be saying that they have won the transfer window.
That was amazing.
You've won the transfer window.
It was on Sky Sports, wasn't it?
It was on Sky Sports, and then, you know, it seems that the Echo's sort of picked it up as well. Transfer window, says the Echo about Everton signings. I mean, look, those boys you've bought might be great. You've got a couple of lads in from Barcelona, well done. I mean, I've seen some dickhead saying that, you know, they buy their players from Barcelona and we get ours from Southampton. Pretty sure we've had a player from Barcelona. Wasn't Luis Garcia from Barcelona? So shove that one up your arse. Also as well, right, this really
He's come back with a needle, hasn't he, Walshy?
This really amused me last night. I was having a little look through Twitter, as you do, that's what it's for. And I seen a blue nose there going on about me, which was nice. So he obviously watches, I am mate, and he was saying, you know, that dickhead, that Robbo, I can't wait to see the video where he's just saying, not asked about what we've done in the summer transfer window. Not asked. You'll still be shit. We'll still finish above you, I can guarantee you.
They've basically signed all of the lads that I would sign on Footy Manager, and I am fucking dreadful at Footy Manager. So
look, they might be alright. They bought some decent players. They've got a new manager. It's an exciting time for them. They haven't got Big Sam there anymore.
I quite like their manager as well.
I understand why you get excited. I don't understand why you have to bring us into the conversation. Just see how you get on first. We've heard it all before. Last season our heads were falling off, you were all telling us. And now you're doing it again. My head's sound, la. I'm looking forward to watching Liverpool. I'm looking forward to seeing our goalkeeper. I'm looking forward to seeing Keita. I'm looking forward to seeing our front three. I'm looking forward to seeing Fabinho. And I'm looking forward to Shaqiri proving the doubters wrong. That's what I'm looking forward to. And then if Everton fail, all the better. So the idea, and the idea, I've said about this before as well, the idea that I'm not asked about Everton. No, I am asked, mate. I am asked. And do you know why I'm asked? Because you're right next to our ground and you're everywhere in this fucking city, and I have to listen to your shite and I see it on Twitter. So I'm asked. There you go. I'm asked. Okay, should we talk about the lads?
The big win, the big transfer window win. When's the parade?
You won the I mean, this is the serious point on this though as well. Like, you can buy, like you said, you can buy players on paper that look great, that have got stats, that have got this, that and the other. But you've no idea how they're going to settle into that squad. You've no idea whether they hit it off with the manager. You've no idea whether they like the club, whether they like the coaches, whether they like the teammates, whether they like the area, whether the missus likes the area, whether the family settles. There's so many reasons why transfers, you know, work and don't work. So get carried away by all means, but you know, you're going a bit. What's that Blair called who used to be on Sky with the hairy hands?
I don't know, but what description? Yeah, hairy hands.
You know, you remember his shout, don't you, last season? Here's an early shout. Everton finish above Liverpool. Well, just just keep it under a little bit, boys. Just see how you get on. See if any of these lads settle in. See if they're any good. You know what I mean? It's one of them, isn't it? Anyway, Walshy's done us a little agenda today, which is very nice of him. So he's got on here Danny Ings, and that's bold, italics and underlined, and then it is see you lad. Danny Ings, see you lad. 4 goals in 25 appearances in all comps in 3 seasons for Liverpool. Obviously diddled by injuries, but that's a bit shite really, innit?
I love these.
Says Walshy.
Really good.
Nice lad though. Even seeing a bigger reaction or more appreciation for a lesser player. Kloppo obviously loves him. Yeah, if you didn't see this, Klopp was very nice about him, and he was again in his press conference earlier. He said he's an outstanding boy. Honestly, if you could bottle character and spirit, his would sell worldwide. We say farewell to a friend, but for Danny, I know the best chapters in his personal story are still to be written. He's as fit now as at any point in his career, I would bet, and he just requires the opportunity. He has that opportunity, and on behalf of his Liverpool family, we say, good luck, Danny, and we miss you. He probably will do all right at Southampton, which is what Walshy's put down here. Like, he's from down there, his family's there, he'll probably play regularly, and that was the problem at Liverpool, really, wasn't it? You know, he did have the trouble with injuries, as I said there, but also, you just wondered whether he quite had the quality required to be playing regularly for Liverpool, and the answer was probably no.
I think he probably just about had the quality at the time that Klopp came in, and then I think since then, we've just done our Team Talk preview show on Tall Player, and we said it in there that this club have probably progressed, well they have, they've progressed further than and beyond Danny Ings, I think, and look, I'd be made up to see him go down to Southampton and do really well there, because like you say, he seems to be such a likeable guy. He seems to be someone that when you see in the Instagram stories and of the other players and the posts that they put out last night on social media when he left, you can obviously tell that he's a player that they absolutely love having around. Yeah. And the bit on spirit, like he come through 2 bad injuries and he managed to come back from them. He got a few games at the end of last season, which was nice to see, but ultimately, you know, when this club's 3 forwards are Firmino, Salah and Mane, and then it's the drop to Danny Ings, he's just not quite good enough anymore for Liverpool. And like I said,
26 as well, isn't he? I think. So,
yeah.
You know, he's sort of at the stage in his career now where he needs to play regularly.
Yeah, definitely.
And, you know, and he's had little goals for Liverpool and sort of, you know, not quite taking the chance, I don't think, to say that, you know, you've got to keep him. I mean, Klopp said he was sort of hoping, a lot of them at the club sort of hoping it didn't work out, because it was obviously a last minute deal with Southampton. It's a loan turning into permanent, going to be about 18 to 20 million pounds, which is decent money back for him. But as you say there, Craig, it was clear that he was well liked. I mean, it wasn't just the players either. I've seen, you know, like people who work for Liverpool saying, you know, what a great lad he was. I've seen Tony Barrett say, I'm not going to miss him, basically calling me a slaphead every day.
Which we're into.
Which we're well into. Well in for that, Danny Ings. Worth signing him just for that.
Hiya, Tony.
You know, and Danny Ings, of course, did score in the derby as well. So, you know, there's a little fond memory as well for him. It didn't quite work out, but, you know, that's football and all that. Okay, next on the agenda, we've got West Ham. Ordinarily on Talking Reds, we would, you know, go big on West Ham. It's the first game of the season. We're obviously really excited about the first game of the season. But what we want you to do is watch a new thing that we've done, which is a preview show exclusively about Liverpool v West Ham. We recorded it last night in our studio downstairs. It was myself, Rob Gutman, and Paul Senior. There's also an insert in there from Neil Atkinson talking about the tactics. He's been speaking to West Ham fans. He's got a lovely little tactics board.
I love it.
I don't want to spoil it.
I'm so into it.
But honestly, this is a new show that we're having a go at. We'd love you to watch it and let us know what you think. That should be out sort of around the same time as this. So here's a little clip of that to whet your appetite. But please do follow up and watch the whole thing.
West Ham United have played 7 pre-season friendlies with the new manager Pellegrini in charge. Pellegrini, we might remember, when he was at Manchester City, he loved 4-4-2. Aguero and Dzeko up top, that was the way in which they beat us to the league that season, playing that shape. It's always been the football he's liked to play. But in pre-season, 6 of his 7 games, he's actually played with something that looks more like this. Some people might say it's 4-2-3-1. Others might say it's 4-5-1. I think it's more 4-1-4-1. It's footballers who make formations as far as I'm concerned, not formations making footballers. And in these two here, he's got Wilshere and Noble. They're the two centre midfielders. And they both do box-to-box work. That's what they're about. The key man in all of this is this guy here, Declan Rice. He's 19 years old. He got 32 games last season for West Ham United. Does some stuff at centre-back, does some stuff at left-back, but this is where his long-term future is. I spoke to Andy Middleton on our Team Talk show, and he thinks Declan Rice will be West Ham's Player of the Year this year. He's a really exciting prospect. Elsewhere, they've got Felipe Anderson, who's been playing off the left-hand side there, joining Arnautovic up top. Arnautovic has got 5 goals in pre-season. Anderson's impressed in patches, but they paid the big money for him, so you've got to expect him to start at Anfield, and he may well tuck in and get close to Arnautovic. On this side, there's a bit of a decision for them to make between Antonio and Yarmolenko. Antonio's been the fitter one throughout pre-season, so you'd expect him to keep his shirt. What's really interesting is the back line, the back five is not decided at all, including the goalkeeper. Fabianski and Adriana slogging it out for who's going to start. You'd have thought Fabianski going there, he would expect that shirt, but Adrian saw off Joe Hart last season. Right back could be Fredericks, they've got from Fulham on a free transfer. He was in the Championship Team of the Year, or it could be Zabaleta. Ogbonna is expected to start left and centre half. The other two, Diop and Balbuena, are battling it out to start alongside him. And Creswell, who we're used to seeing at Anfield, he's up against Masuaku, and Creswell hasn't been the fittest during pre-season either. As this plays out, it's worth remembering West Ham have had 7 pre-season friendlies. We've had a number as well. So these two sides could be in pretty good nick. We know what we do. We know how this works. There's your Salah, there's Firmino, and there's Mane. We're expecting Keita to do bits around here. So if all these lads are occupying with the fullbacks pushing up from Liverpool, the key man could actually be what Wijnaldum does if he starts. The run we sort of make against Torino to slot from this sort of area could be exactly the sort of thing that gets us through against West Ham. It's not the West Ham of last season. They're not going to turn up. They're not going to be passive, but they're also not going to be overloaded in midfield. They're going to take some beating, I think, some breaking down. But we know this Liverpool side. We know that it could just blow a team away early, but we also know that it's prepared to work and graft. It could be a long afternoon at Anfield. Both sides have got a sub on 60, Yarmolenko, Hernandez. They've just bought Lucas Perez. Both sides have got a sub, but it could well be a game that Liverpool are able to win by outmanning West Ham in these key areas here, overwhelming Rice, Noble and Wilshere.
Okay, so that was the new preview show on the Anfield, and we're going to be doing lots and lots more video this season. So there's a post-match pint there from the other night, the Torino game. We'll be doing another one of those after West Ham at Hotel Tia, which is on Anfield Road, only a few hundred yards from the stadium. So the idea is that we get out the ground, we get in Hotel Tia, we get a pint, and we have a chat about what we just watched, and we put it out as a video. It went down well the other night. We did one last season as well. I think it was the Stoke game. That was a laugh, and people seem to like it. So we're going to be doing those regularly. We're going to be doing the preview show regularly. We're also going to do a new show as well on video called The Second Look, and that's going to be what it says, where we sort of take a second look at the match, watch it again, pull out things we've highlighted, go a little bit more over the stats and the tactics and that kind of thing. Paul Cope will be on that show, who's been great on the review show, the podcast version, if you like. So made up to have him on the video, so look out for that one as well. And on all of this stuff, really, sort of let us know what you think. So there's a couple of other videos kicking around on our YouTube channel where to watch as well. There's a feature on penalties, the pressure of taking them on penalty shootouts, that kind of thing. Spoke to John Aldridge, Chris Kirkland, and a couple of sports psychologists, one of whom has written a book about penalty taking. So put it all together, have a look at that, see what you think. And also on this channel as well, there is an hour long, I think it's about an hour, might even be over an hour, about the trip to Kiev, our mad trip to Kiev, 6 days, 6-day trip to Kiev.
Feels so long ago now.
Yeah, it's like a different lifetime or something. But that's gone down well. We were a bit unsure about putting it out because obviously ultimately Liverpool lose that game. But it wasn't just about the game, it was about the journey, it was about the day, it was about the whole
It's about the experience, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's gone down well. So give that a watch as well. And as I say, we'd love to hear what your feedback is on all our new video.
I'm so excited about the new video, especially the post-match pint, I think, because like the post-match shows probably our most popular podcast on Saw Player, because straight after a win, you want to hear us celebrate and you want to hear us talk about the match after the Reds have won a big match or whatever. But to have it basically because where we're recording it's so close to Anfield, it's going to be so raw, isn't it? Like you're going to be straight. It's literally like 200 yards away from the game, and we'll have it all set up. So like whether it's the excitement and the elation that it'll capture after a big win, or whether it's the anger, it's going to both ways. It's going to really work, and it's going to be really exciting.
The other question that some people have been asking us is, does any of this affect the podcast? And the answer to that is no. So basically how it will work with that post-match pint is myself, Ian Ryan and Stu Wright, I think it is, this weekend will record the post-match pint, but also in Hotel Tier in a separate bit there'll be the podcast team, if you like, and they'll record their immediate reaction as well. So that'll still be out there if you're more of an audio type person. The idea is offering a choice and seeing where we go with it, just doing something new with the Anfield app. We've been going for 7 years now, so we wanted to have a go at something else. Really excited about it. The studio downstairs looks great. Sam's been working really hard on it also. Give it a go. Just a bit more on the transfer window then. It has now slammed shut, as they say. Shite that in it. But yeah, I mean, while she's put down here, when did we last have a window as good as this? I mean, it has been a good window, hasn't it? I think, you're still getting one or two guys saying we could have done maybe one or two more.
Every fan's saying that though, like every fan of every club, no matter how highly they rate their window, they're saying, we could have done one more. I think yesterday on the live audio broadcast, the alternative deadline day that we did, they had the Crystal Palace fan, is it Robbie Scorch, or is that
Scorch,
it is? Yeah. And they had him on, and he was made up about how the business at Crystal Palace, and he was so excited going into the new season, but then at the end he said, but you know what, I would have liked one more. And the first thing I thought was, that's what we're saying. I'm so excited about the signings and the bracket of player that we've bought, but we're all saying we would have liked one more. I think every fan's going to be like that, aren't they? No matter how well their transfer window goes.
I think what's really exciting about it is that Liverpool now, to me, look to have a brilliant spine to the side.
Yeah,
so you've got Alisson in goal, who comes highly rated, who's massive, who looks like a real presence. I can't wait to see him in goal for the Reds. You've obviously got Keita in midfield, you've got the front three, you've got Van Dijk, and I just think if we can keep that spine fit for the majority of the season, then the likelihood is that we're going places. And I think the strength in depth looks decent as well. I think that's been helped by some of the kids in pre-season, Camacho, Curtis Jones, even Nat Phillips. If we had to turn to them at any point in the season, you wouldn't be crying your eyes out, because all of a sudden you've seen them compete at a senior level and do themselves proud, really. I mean, just looking at some of the stats around the transfer window, the Times here say that Liverpool spent 161 million in the window just gone, which is by far and away the most in the league. I mean, you look at Tottenham, spent nothing, didn't buy a new player. They're now sort of backtracking massively and saying it's actually a positive that we just kept our squad together. We're fine with what we've got.
I am absolutely baffled by Spurs.
I'm not sure. It kind of feels like they're just paying for that stadium, aren't they? They're paying for that box seat.
Yeah, the past 2 or 3 seasons have probably been the most exciting for Spurs fans in terms of the team they're building, the players they've got, the manager they've got, and I cannot believe that they've gone one transfer window without making any signings. Especially considering the calibre of football team in this league, and how what we've done here to the highest spending club. That's what we've been crying out for years, is to show that we're in that bracket, and to try and compete with Man City, who are an outstanding football team with an outstanding manager, and it looks as if we've given it a real go here.
Who would you swap places with? Who would you swap places with in terms of the business done? I mean, like, City already had a brilliant squad, so they didn't really have to go out there and strengthen. They got Mahrez, but they got like the lad back at left back, haven't they? He was out injured all last season. He's almost like the new sign and all that kind of thing. They're all right, they're box. But I mean, you look at that trouble around Man United. There's a piece in the Guardian today from the lad with the bad haircut. The Forest fan Danny Taylor, who hates Liverpool.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, he has obviously got contacts at Manchester United, and it's an interesting read because it goes in depth about all the targets that Mourinho wanted, why the club then didn't go for them. There's an interesting line in there about they feel that almost Liverpool inflated the market by paying the money that they did for Van Dijk. up the Reds. And then it said, so, there's a line in it that says something like, and United believe in a year or so's time that won't look like a big fee. It doesn't look like a big fee now, lads. We're absolutely delighted with Van Dijk. He's the best centre-half in the league. He's a man you build a team around. He's a mountain of a fella. He's a lovely fella. He's settled right in. It feels like he's been there for years. And any time he's playing in Liverpool's team, you're confident that you can keep them out. He's a
and you would absolutely love him.
Yeah,
you'd have loved to sign him. Like, look, he was scrapping around for at the end. It started with like Alderweireld and who was the other? Basically, it ends up in Mina, and then it's not Mina, and then it's Godin who signs a contract 2 hours after you go for him. So look, you can say whatever you want about Van Dijk, but he's been a brilliant signing for us, and you'd absolutely love him in your team. And I think, what Ollie Kay said in that article is basically the coherent planning was the winner this transfer window, because Liverpool had obviously planned from way back, maybe a year in advance, that these were the players, a year in advance in Keita's point, but like, yeah, when you look at United and it's the deadline day, and they're just trying to get any defender they can get in, and talk of Harry Maguire for 75 million and all of that, like Varane as well, I think it says 100 million Varane, like that's just desperation, and that's lack of planning, and that's something we've seen from United over the past 3 seasons, and they'll be looking at our window. The reason they're talking about our window is because they're going to be jealous of it. And I remember back in December when Melissa Reddy, and she was in the office, and we were kind of kettling her head about who Liverpool might sign in January, and she wouldn't tell us, but what she did say was that Liverpool's idea, or what Liverpool wanted to do for the next 6 months, is to bring players in that improve the spine, like you said. And if you look at exactly what you said there, they've done that with Alisson, with Van Dijk, with Fabinho, with Keita. These are fucking brilliant footballers, elite footballers.
The last time we had a really good spine, I would say, one, as close to this, if you like, is probably just 08-09. And, we get 86 points that season. We go so close to winning the league. And I think that's what Liverpool can be aiming for now with this squad. I mean, whether we can actually win it is another question. We've just been talking about that on the team tour. City are a great side. You don't get 100 points if you're not. And if they won 32 out of 38 last season. I mean, how do you keep up with that? As I say, the most Liverpool have ever got in the Premier League is 86. So to expect them to go from 75 last season to be able to get 100 this is probably asking a little bit too much. What we want from Liverpool is for them to compete, and I think they will compete this season. I think we're in, it's going to be exciting, it's going to be great. We're going to be there all the way as well, and I'm really looking forward to it. And like I say, you wouldn't swap him for anything else right now. I mean, the Mourinho stuff is absolutely hilarious. It just feels like he's undermined his whole squad. He's undermined any challenge you get from them before a ball's even kicked. And as I say, tune in tonight for Man United Leicester, 0-0 written all over it. Although imagine, I like to tempt fate, so imagine Harry Maguire winning 90th minute.
Oh, I'd do bad things. I was about to say something there that I would do on Talking Reds on Monday, but I'm not going to say that kind of thing because I'll be forced to do it. But just before we go off on that, it's interesting whenever you look at Liverpool's spend, so 161 million, 131 net, and then you look at the top 10 fees. And so the tops, Kepa, Chelsea 72, Alisson obviously for us rising to 65, and so on and so on. There's 3 of our players in there. But the most excited I am about a new signing now is Shaqiri, and he only costs 13 million, and I just think he's going to be absolutely brilliant this season.
Team Shaqiri.
Team Shaqiri.
I'm on the Team Shaqiri.
Like I said it on the team talk as well, but like over pre-season, if that was everything that he's done is what we'd have hoped Fekir would have been doing if we'd have signed him in pre-season. So the way he's played, what he's done from deep, his link-up play with the players, Sturridge and all of that, the goal he scored, the assist the other night, he's really, really got me excited.
That overhead kick, honest to God. I know it was only pre-season, and I know he hasn't played a competitive game yet for Liverpool, but honest to God, his debut for Liverpool, and he scores that overhead kick. And it was dead funny because I don't know if we're revealing where we watched the match yet, are we? I think we're still sitting on that story.
Let's tell them.
So we ended up, watching Liverpool v Manchester United in the Michigan Stadium, in the big house. We ended up in the head coach's executive box.
The head coach was not there.
he was not there. We ended up in the wrong part of the stadium with only 5 minutes till kick-off, basically.
Is that our excuse here?
Well, that's what happened though, isn't it? We went up, we asked someone where we had media passes, we asked how we got to the media section, and this fella said, go in there, go up to the 5th floor, and we're like, all right, Sam. So we go in, bags checked, all the rest of it, show our passes, get in the lift, and the woman in the lift who was doing the lift was like, where are you going? And we're like, 5th floor, and it's like, the media facilities aren't there, they're the other side of the stadium. And so we're all looking at each other going, well, we're not going to get round there for kick-off. And John basically said, I'm a charming man, we'll sort it.
He's a very charming man under pressure, and whenever he needs something, he's able to charm anyone.
And so we just ended up in this box. I mean, we just ended up in this box, and it was great. Fantastic view. The head coach, as we say, wasn't there. People who popped their head in didn't seem to mind too much that we were there. We nearly had a bevy, and nearly got a picture with Fred the Red, Manchester United's mascot.
And then he caught on, didn't he?
Yeah, I called him a mank. So I think he got onto that, and then the dream of having a bevy with Fred the Red was over.
It was funny. It was funny being in the box and like looking at the people that were either side of us, because
they were
like you know,
the Glazers were there and all
the Glazers and Woodward were like 3 boxes down, and there was all these little posh kids in the next one, weren't there? Like all just sat, not really knowing what, and
it was just one of them weird,
bevied.
It was one of them weird, surreal Anfield at moments, but it was a good one. But what my point was, when Shaqiri scores this goal, it was like, you could see him lining up, you know what I mean? The cross is coming over, and you see him lining up, and you think, don't know about this, mate, and then he executes it brilliantly back of the net. What were we like? Like Neil was sort of in between us, just sort of going, and we were just like, and then it was like, oh hang on, it's only pre-season, isn't it? But honest to God, like I think he's looked great pre-season, and all those little clips you see from LFC TV and stuff like that, I think he's got the bit between his teeth. And when he's got the bit between his teeth, he can be a player, and I just think he's going to thrive on having better players around him. He looks in good shape. He looks like a cube, but he looks in good shape. And
he's our cube.
He's our cube.
Yeah.
He's Ram Man off He-Man. Honestly, I just think he's got something about him where he's got a touch of the Mavericks. He could be that cult hero for Liverpool. And look, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about Daniel Sturridge. I'm excited about Liverpool. I'm excited about Keita. I'm excited about going to the match again, seeing my mates having a pint. I'm excited about Hotel Tia. I'm excited about the Anfield wrap. It's all boss, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is all boss. And so someone else who's been getting excited about the new season, and to end today's Talking Reds, is Gibbo. And Gibbo, at the end of this, is going to tell you about why you should get involved with the Anfield wrap, why it's boss, and why we're all getting dead excited. Up the Reds.
Liverpool season starts this weekend, the homes against West Ham. It's been a brilliant pre-season. Really, it's been this much excitement going into a new season as there is now. 2011, the Anfield Wrap's been your companion, home and away supporting Liverpool. We cover every game, we're at every game in one way or another. We're doing previews, we're doing match reviews, we're looking at everything in detail, all the transfer news with us. We're doing as close as possible, instant reaction to all the news and events that matter to you. Throughout 2018, wherever Liverpool have been, we've been as well. We went to Rome, we went to Kiev, and this summer we've covered the pre-season games in Dublin, as well as the tour in the United States of America, where we got exclusive interviews with Andy Robertson and Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp.
I loved the last season because I really felt how we all came together.
Next year we'll be adding even more video content to our award-winning audio content, so it's a great time to get involved with the Anfield Wrap, share the journey of supporting LFC with us.